Welcome back to our Bourdain series where we're cooking our way through Anthony Bourdain's Lay All cookbook. Today, Kaya and I are making soupe au vin in the soups chapter. Yeah. So after reading this recipe, soupe au vin, I should have known because of the au vin in the name, which like coq au vin, chicken and cooked basically in red wine. But this soup is essentially just red wine soup. So I'm only making a half of a recipe today, which means that my sous chef today is 100% definitely gonna be the rest of this bottle of Bourdain.
As you guys know, I am cooking through his Lay All cookbook, which I figured I would share what Lay All actually was, based on some excerpts from his book. Lay All was a French brasserie in New York City, where Anthony Bourdain spent about 20 years as executive chef before becoming famous on the TV screen and introducing himself to the rest of the world and to us. He originally didn't want the job at Lay All after the interview. He said he picked up on a bad vibe. He said something of sloppiness, informality, too much enthusiasm from the boss, all things he'd learned to be very instinctively wary of after 28 years in the business. Now, they did invite him back for dinner, and his wife insisted that they were broke and she really wanted steak frites. So they went, and he fell in love.
Did I tell you we're in the middle of moving?
This cookbook, of course, is the recipes from Lay All. Also, he claims he will take you by the hand and walk you through the process in much the same way, and in the same caring, sensitive, diplomatic tone as he would a new recruit in his restaurant kitchen.
I'm gonna give this recipe an 8.5 or a 9, which is one of the highest scores that I've had so far. It really reminded me of French onion soup in the best way. Slightly different, obviously, but I thought it was great. The main difference between this and French onion, outside of the bread and the melted cheese, is that I think this is more acidic, which makes sense because primarily the base of this soup is red wine versus a beef stock or a dark chicken stock for a French onion soup, even though that does have a little bit more sweetness from the caramelized onions. And if you add port or balsamic like we did in the recipe from this book, that definitely is still savory, but a little bit sweeter. I don't think it presents that well. I'd have to think about how I would dress it up a little bit. Maybe I'd emulsify it, although I don't know if that changes the flavor profile too much, but I think emulsifying it with a drizzle of some sort of crema might be nice, actually. Getting off topic. We're definitely gonna have leftovers, and why did I say it like that? Leftovers. I'm trying to think of clever ways to repurpose some of these leftovers, like I did with the French onion soup, which I made into a creamy pasta, and I posted that video if you wanna see it. I think with this one, the leftovers, I'm going to add a few more aromatics, reduce it down, and make just a really good red wine sauce to go over on top of a steak. The next recipe we're making in our Bourdain series is a cold potato leek soup that's called this, and I don't know how to pronounce it.